Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Alinga Sise of Herb and Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to someone out there who is planning to start poultry farming, especially the layers. And I want you to know everything about the layers. Last time we talked about why you should quit your job to do poultry farming. For those who have not watched that video, please endeavor to watch that video. And I want us to know that there are quite a number of things that you must have in mind before you start this project. That is why I came up with this topic, to let you know some of the things, and this will help you in the planning. This will help you in actually knowing what you're going for, and even it will give you more strength to start the project, because at least you'll go there when you're well versed. There are quite a number of them, but I will try as much as possible to talk about most of them. And as we continue, we shall keep on talking about all of them in this channel. So for today, stay tuned till the end and I will be grateful. As I told you earlier on, today I want us to look at everything that you need to know about the layers, and this will help you in the planning. This will help you as a beginner to know what you're going for. And there are quite a number of them, but the number one thing that you must know is to have the land. When you're starting this project, of course you must have a piece of land, but most of us think that when we are starting this project, we must have a very big chunk of land, and we must have bought the land. But no, you can even rent the land from someone, and you start your project in it. And you can even start it in a very small piece of land. Now, like mine here is in a small piece of land, but I'm happily doing poultry farming and I'm enjoying it. So it is not that you should have it in a very big piece of land. You can start small as you keep on growing. And then another thing that you must know about poultry farming is the chicken house. Of course, you will not go in poultry farming without having the house. We have three types of houses. We have a permanent house, we have a semi-permanent house, and we have a temporary house. But all these houses work much as like the temporary house. It will not last for long. It will work, let's say, like for only one flock of birds, and you will destroy it and start another one and construct another one. Like also the semi-permanent house might not work for many years, but the permanent one will work for many years, but however it will be a bit expensive. So if you're out there and you don't have enough money, you can start with a semi-permanent house, or you can start with a temporary house. But you must make sure that the chicken house should be in a way that no rodents can access it. It cannot leak whenever it rains. The floor is also very okay. In fact, I would prefer that you cement the floor so that the birds don't scratch down, because these birds like scratching a lot, looking for things down there. So always make sure you cement the house. That will help you a lot. And also make sure that the chicken house is large enough for your birds. If you don't have enough money to construct a big house, please make sure that you really bring very few number of birds in that chicken house, because with these layers they really need spacing, and we all say that 4 birds in 1 square meters, and the house should be well ventilated, and that will not suffocate the birds. The litter should be removed at least between 3 to 6 months. The litter should not be wet, and there should always be a foot bath at the entrance of the chicken house for biosecurity and to avoid these birds from getting sick. So that is all about the house. Guys, today the video is a bit broad because we are explaining so many things. So please bear with me. And then when we look at the breed of the birds, because after having the land and the house, of course you're planning to bring the birds. But before you bring the birds, you must consider the breed that you're going to bring. Personally, I have had Isa Brown, and it was really performing super well. Currently, I have Lowman Brown, which is also performing very well. So make sure that you research about the breed that you're going to bring in your poultry farm. Now, after knowing the breed, it is now time for you to bring the birds into the farm. When you're bringing these birds into the farm, some of us prefer birds which are already at the point of lay because we fear brooding. Guys, I will not advise a beginner out there to buy birds which are already at the point of lay. Please, I will advise you that buy birds which are day-old chicks, brood them by yourself, raise them by yourself. That is when you will understand those birds very well. Some people who sell their birds which are at the point of lay, they have different reasons why they sell these birds. Unless if there is a farm that specializes in raising birds and sell them off during the point of lay, that one I would say it is okay, go and buy the birds. But for someone who is just telling you, I want to sell off my birds, please don't rush to buy those birds. You don't know whether he or she has been vaccinating the birds. You don't know whether the biosecurity was well observed, and you don't know even the breed of the birds that you're buying from this person. So I would advise, please, let us avoid buying birds which are already at the point of lay. Let's try as much as possible to buy day-old chicks. That is when we shall understand this business very well. That is when you will even know the performance of your birds. Because now if you buy the birds which are already at the point of lay and they don't perform to your expectation, of course you don't know what has been happening when the birds are still young. So guys, I would advise, please, let us bring day-old chicks and raise them from day one until we lay them off. Another thing that you must know as a beginner in layers is the brooding. I've talked about brooding before, but I want to repeat that brooding is really very, very important in this project. The way you brood your birds determines the way they will perform in future. So I would advise someone out there who is doing this, who are still insisted in doing this project as part-time, please endeavor to do the brooding by yourself, or endeavor to be there most of the time when the brooding is being done. Because at the brooder, these birds must be fed well. These birds must take clean drinking water. These birds must be vaccinated very, very well, because most vaccinations actually happens during the brooding time. So please, let us try as much as possible to brood our birds perfectly well. As a beginner out there, that is what will determine the performance of your bird. Another thing that you must know as a beginner in the layer project is the vaccination of your birds. Guys, I still say vaccination is really very, very important in this project, especially these layers. I'm not talking about the local chicken today, but with the layers, we must do the vaccination. Someone asked me in the comment section that, Sissy, you're promoting these herbal remedies, but you're still telling us to do vaccination. Yes, I'm still telling us to do vaccination because this is a business. I don't want us to risk and we do not vaccinate the birds and they get these viral diseases. Now, disease like Gomboro, once the birds get, you end up losing all the birds. Newcastle, it is very hard to treat. Fall pox, very hard to treat. Fall typhoid, very hard to treat. That's why I'll still emphasize, let us vaccinate our birds as it is written in the vaccination schedule. Vaccination schedule should be given by the company that is supplying you with those day-old chicks. So as a beginner, you must have that in your mind. Another thing that you must know as a beginner in this project is the feeding. Guys, feeding is really very, very important in layers. Leave alone the local birds. Layers is very important. The feeding is very important very important in layers. First of all, from day 1 to 4 weeks old, I give them the starter pellets. And from week 5 to week 12, I give them the growers mash. From week 13 to the layoff time, I give them the layers mash. All these videos are here in the channel. Those who have not watched, please endeavor to watch. This is how you're supposed to feed these layers. And the feeding is designed in a way that every week these birds have particular amount of feeds that they are supposed to take. I'm still receiving so many comments asking me how many kgs of feeds do birds of this age supposed to take. Please, all the videos we've discussed them in this channel. So let us endeavor to watch these videos. These birds need to be fed well. The feeding timetable needs to be followed. And when the birds start laying, you're supposed to feed them twice in a day. Now, like here, I am giving them 46 kgs of feeds, because now I have only 390 birds. But these 46 kilograms, you divide it. In the morning, I give them a bigger portion. Then in the afternoon, I give them the remaining portion. Feeding goes hand in hand with the drinking water. Guys, these birds also need clean drinking water. In fact, the drinking water should be as clean as the one you are drinking. So make sure that you give these birds enough clean drinking water, and the feeding should be very well. Try to buy feeds from trusted stores. Don't just buy feed from anywhere. Please try to identify these people who have been dealing in these feeds for long and buy your feeds from there. Whenever they're doing mixing of the feeds, make sure you're present during the mixing of the feeds. Make sure all the nutrients are put in those feeds. With these layers, it's so funny. If you don't put all the things in the feeds, guys, you will see how the eggs will be soft. You will see how the birds will not perform. And that is why some of us, our birds end up not laying at the right time. So feeding is very important in this project. As you plan to start this project, drinking water is also very, very important. Another thing that you must know as a beginner in this project is that when these birds reach week 10, between week 10 to week 12, always endeavor to debeak them. Layers need to be debeaked. If you do not debeak your layers, they will end up eating the eggs. They will end up pecking on others. That is when cannibalism will come in your farm. Well, when we bring them as they're all chicks, most companies nowadays debeak them from the archery. And then again, by the time they reach 10 weeks, you will find that those beaks have regrown. So that is why I will tell you, please, when they reach week 10, between week 10 to week 12, endeavor to debeak your birds. And the debeaking, I've also done the videos when I'm doing debeaking. Please go and watch those videos. Layers must be debeaked, not like the local chicken that we do not debeak. With the layers, you must debeak them. This is a business that you're starting. Much as you have the love for the project, but you also have the business part of it. And then another thing that you must know is that when between week 10 to week 14, endeavor to put the laying boxes. These layers, they will lay in the laying boxes. They will not just lay in the floor just like that. Please, you as a farmer, you must make for them the laying boxes, put it there early enough so that they get used to it, and it is just an automatic thing. They will just know that is where we are going to lay. Actually, when they start laying eggs, you will see birds will just go there and lay eggs. Mine here, I put it a little bit late. I remember I made a video on that. It was week 16 when I put the laying boxes, which was not the right time. The right time should be at least between week 10 to week 14. But me, I ended up putting at week 16 because I really wanted to see if these birds will end up adapting to the laying boxes when they start laying. But to my surprise, they still ended up laying in the laying boxes. But still, it disturbed me in the first weeks when they started laying. I saw most birds were still laying down. But later on, I'm seeing most of them have now adopted to the laying boxes. That is why you should put the laying boxes as early as possible. Make sure inside the laying boxes is dark enough, because they really love to lay in dark corners. So make sure it's dark enough. Make sure it is you put enough coffee husk there or enough bedding there for them to lay eggs. And make sure you put very many, like enough laying boxes for all the birds, because if you have now like 390 birds and you put few compartments for where they are going to lay, birds will end up suffocating there and you will end up losing so many eggs. So laying boxes is very, very important. I want you also to know as a beginner that with these layers, there are times where the prices of eggs are low, where the prices of eggs are high. So do not be surprised when you start the project and your birds start laying and they tell you that this time the eggs prices are low. The prices of eggs keep on fluctuating. So please, as a beginner, go in for the project while having that in your mind. And then also coming to the feeds. Now the things that we mix in the feeds, like the maize, actually the maize is the main thing here in our country. Prices of maize also keep on fluctuating. That is why, as a beginner, if possible, try to buy maize in big quantity during the season when people are harvesting. That is when you will at least be able to do away with the expensive feeds. If you do not plan and buy this maize in advance, feeds will keep on, the prices will keep on going up and going down. And the funny bit of it that I have seen with this years of doing layers is that the time when the egg prices are low is when the feeds are high. I don't know whether that is what most people have also realized there. Please tell me in the comment section, those who have done this project. The time when the eggs are expensive, it is when again the prices of feeds are low. The time when the eggs are very cheap is when the prices of feeds are very, very high. So as a beginner, if you have enough capital, make sure that you stock the feeds, especially the maize. Maize bran is not very easy to stock it because it cakes very fast, but the maize, stock it early enough so that you don't complain about the prices of maize in the time when they are high. And also, as a beginner, please, I want you to endeavor always to be at your farm. See what is going on there, because if you don't be at the farm, you dedicate the workers to do for you the work, you will not even learn poultry farming. And if these workers go and you need new other workers who will train them on what to do at the farm. That is why I would say, please, let us try as much as possible to be present in our farms. And since you are a beginner, you need to learn a lot about this project. You need to know the dynamics of the layer project. So please, I will say, let us try as much as possible to be present in our farm. For today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back and watching my videos. And if you are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I will be so grateful. See you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.